Grant Shapps has fallen on his sword over this, but many are putting the blame at Lord Feldman's door. You encouraged Elliot Johnson and others to make complaints to the Conservative Party. Are you concerned at how Lord Feldman has handled these complaints?
This, at its heart, is a Conservative Party issue and a Conservative Party problem. I think the way that the investigation has been handled by the Conservative Party has been shambolic. At the end of the day, if it wasn't for Paul Abbott and myself encouraging people to make these complaints, Mark Clarke would still be running Road Trip 2020 and he'd have been at Chequers enjoying cocktails with the Prime Minister. I think the Conservative Party really needs to get to the bottom of why the Conservative Party chose to bring Mark Clarke right into its heart to run its election operation.
Do you think Lord Feldman has been involved or is involved in a cover-up?
No, but I suspect that the staffer who drafted that statement where he said he was wholly unaware of anything to do with Mark Clarke won't be in their job for very much longer.
Why do you think that?
Because that's clearly not the case. The papers this weekend revealed that there was a memorandum written in the summer of 2014 to both Grant Shapps and Andrew Feldman that made it plain that in their view, Mark Clarke should be nowhere near running Road Trip 2015.
Have you seen that email?
I have not.
Because apparently the reply from Lord Feldman told Paul Abbott, your colleague, to make it work, which basically means shut up and just get on with your job, I guess. I mean, if that is so, and this email does emerge from wherever, it's impossible to see how Lord Feldman can survive that, surely.
Ian, if that is the response, I'd like to know who sent that response.
Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, they clearly hold you personally and YBF in general in part responsible for what happened to Elliot. That seems clear from Ray Johnson's comments in the media over the last couple of days. Do you have a message for them?
I'm deeply sorry for having been friends with Mark Clarke and for allowing Mark Clarke to be involved in the Young Britons Foundation. Elliot loved his time in the Young Britons Foundation. Last year he wrote, unless you're receiving a knighthood at Buckingham Palace from the Queen, make sure you're at the YBF conference next year. I know that a family in grief is quite properly looking for people to blame for their son's tragic death. There are a multiplicity of people who have responsibility for that, and I don't think that it's fair or right to blame me or the Young Britons Foundation for that.
Is there one thing, looking back, that if you could change, you would?
I wish I'd never met Mark Clarke.
First of all, I think we need to do something more to constrict Daesh, ISIL, whatever you want to call them, in that area. There's no question that they are plotting and that those plots are having an effect, not just on other parts